Hey, good morning, everyone. Finished up day one yesterday with Russell Brunson going over traffic secrets, and he shared something that was really terrifying, actually. A lot of us that own businesses rely on Facebook, right, to get our message out there. We spend money on ads, but the thing is that we're really at the mercy of Mark Zuckerberg. In fact, at any given moment, if he just decided to take your ad account down, he could. And that actually happened to a couple of my clients, and really for no good reason whatsoever. So if we hang all of our hopes and dreams of growing our businesses on whether or not we can run a Facebook ad, we could get in really big trouble. So what Russell did is he started going over some of the different ways that you could actually own your own traffic, right? Instead of just buying it from somebody else who has control of the traffic, he literally talked about, well, how do you create your own channel? How do you become the star of your own show? And how do you build a big enough lead or a big enough following so you actually own the traffic, so you never have to worry about that? And there were three different things that he mentioned that I thought were really great, because not everybody has the same types of skills. So he said, listen, he said, if you're a person who really loves to write, right, you like to communicate in written form, the best thing that you could do is you could start a blog, okay? And I've heard that before, but the thing is, the part that was always left out was, well, how do you start a blog, right? Where do I go to start a blog? I have no idea how to do that, okay? So then the second thing he said is, if you're a talker, right? If you just love to talk, you like to communicate that way, well then your best bet might be to start a podcast, right? So a podcast is much like a radio talk show, right? Where you can either talk about specific topics or you could interview people, those types of things for people with a gift of gab. And I said, okay, well, that's great too, but how do you start a podcast? I don't know how to start a podcast. Some people have that knowledge and some people don't. But we need to know the specifics on exactly how that's done. And then the last thing he said, listen, he says, if you really enjoy speaking in front of people, you don't mind being in front of the camera, and you do well with that, then you're probably going to want to do something more like something that involves video, right? Whether it be a YouTube channel or Instagram stories or Facebook lives or things like that. Like, so for me, for example, I talk to the camera all the time because that's the niche I'm in. So I'm very comfortable now in front of the camera. So that would make sense to me. But again, how do I do it? And then exactly what steps do I need to take to make sure that not only are people seeing what I'm saying or what I'm writing or what I'm speaking about, but how do I convert them? How do I add them to my list? How do I make sure that people that are interested in learning more about me, I've got a way to nurture that relationship? So here's the thing. It doesn't matter which one of those things that you use, but what does matter is that once you start using them, that you actually understand how to turn those people into actually paying customers, right? So they can benefit from the product or service that you offer. So the thing is that everything that we're learning here and everything that I want to share with you is all tied around what's called the perfect webinar script, okay? Now, Russell said, I wish I never called it the perfect webinar script, because it's not just for webinars. It's really how to communicate with people and how to bring your product, your service, or your idea across to them so that they see the massive benefit and value in doing business with you, so that they make the great decision to go ahead and act and purchase, okay? So what I did is I said, okay, let's find out exactly what these three things are. And I was actually going to go and ask the question. Luckily, Russell went ahead and addressed it. So he actually provided us with some links. So here's a few things that you're going to need. One of the first things that you're going to need is if you're going to be a blogger, you need the best place to set up your blog, a place where it's already proven that there's a lot of traffic, so you'll get off to a fast start. So if you are interested in writing and you want to start a blog, then please message me or drop me a note and or email me at billstorm@billstorm.com, and I'll send you the appropriate links that you're going to need if you want to be a blogger. If you want to start a podcast, I will also send you a couple of different resources for that. I'll send you an app that you could use to start your own podcast, and I can also introduce you to someone who is an expert at starting podcasts, so you can speak with them and get that up and running very quickly. And then your last one is video. So if you want, if you're interested in video, then I can provide you with some resources on how to do that, it's YouTube channels and so on and so forth. So a couple of oh, and last thing, a perfect webinar script. If you have all of these things, right, and you have no idea what the perfect webinar script is, so you'll get a lot of people that'll start watching you, but it won't convert. So you need to understand exactly how to convert those people. So I'll also send you the link so you can grab Russell's perfect webinar script. It's free. All you have to do is opt in, and he will ship that to you so you can learn how to use that material. Okay. And then last but not least, obviously I'm building my YouTube channel. So if you'd like to learn more of the things that I'm sharing with you, make sure that you subscribe. Okay. That's about it. I'm off to day 2. Talk to you soon.